Hey everybody, sorry about the late review. Let's just say nothing really happened big in movies this weekend. I mean, I could have gone to go see the Inhumans, but let's be honest here. I haven't seen the last couple of Netflix series. I just finished Luke Cage, I've always seen Iron Fist and Daredevil, and I'm trying to get through Jessica Jones, but it's like pulling fingernails. It's so boring. There is nothing happening. The characters aren't enjoyable. Which is actually what I can say about this movie I'm talking about today. Because as you notice from the title, I am reviewing not the half amazing, half why did you do this anime Deathnote. I'm not even reviewing the really good movies that came out back in Japan. Yes, there already were live action Deathnote movies, and they were actually really good. Though L's little adventure in the end was kind of weird, but it was the third movie, they were just making it, and for what it was enjoyable. All words I will not say about this movie. The Deathnote Netflix movie is what happens when somebody reads the Wikipedia page, then decides to say, you know what, this sounds too good, I'm just gonna take the script, wipe my behind with it, crumble it up and toss it out a window, and make my own stuff up. Because, you know, I can do better than them. Who needs a good mythos? Who needs good characters? Who needs good plot? Good development? Good actual detective work? Who needs any of this? Who needs complex characters? Who needs actually good screenwriting? Who needs good shots? Who needs actual logic and reasoning in a show like this? It's sad to say, when an actual anime makes more logic and sense than its live-action counterpart. And of course I'm referring to the Netflix series, not the Japanese movies. Oh god, where to begin? So I guess the best way to say this is, in case you can't, recognize by my tone how I feel about this movie I truly feel, as a Deathnote fan, is utter garbage. As a fan of just basic decent movies in general, not a fan. Not that good. It's just... I'll put it this way. Out of all the young adult movies I have seen, the YA movies as they're called, your Twilights, your Maze Runners, your, Divergent series, this one's not exactly the most offensive to me, or offensive in the sense of its genre. Yes, that's what they did, if you haven't gleaned from that. They turned Deathnote, a show and movie all about psychological battle between two geniuses trying to play an elaborate game of chess to reveal each other's identity and get proof enough that they can execute their final plan, one to kill the other, one to arrest the other. Into Light and Mia, who's clearly not Misa, but might as well be Misa, except, worse. Yeah, that's right. Say what you want about Misa from the anime. There was something to enjoy about the cutesy craziness she had. Most people found her annoying, don't get me wrong. But I found it just, laughable to see these two geniuses get paired up with her. To a literal psychopath who could be a psychopath, could not be a psychopath, because possibly being controlled, it's... Okay. Setting her aside, we move on to our main characters, the two main battling forces in this movie. Light Yagami, or in this case Turner, because I'm not going to touch that whitewashing BS. They made it in America, they turned L black, race means nothing, I truly don't care. Just make the character good and enjoyable, and I don't care what you call them. But if you're going to use something as a reference, you have to be honest to it. You have to either take it in a new direction, or you have to pay homage to it in a perfect sense that actually makes you feel like this is an actual good step in the direction. The perfect example in this movie is Ryuk, the Shinigami. Different take on him, different way in how he's doing things, but at the same time he's actually still true to his form. He's just an overseer who gets a kick out of watching humans act like humans. Light, on the other hand, has gone from a genius with a god complex and a very strong sense of morality to the extent that he wants to purge the world of all evil, because, that's a great idea, and turn him into, let's see, how to describe him. Imagine if you took all the blandness of Edward Cullen, all the sociopathic tens of that new Iron... Nah, I don't want to touch that subject. I'm not going to touch the Iron Heart. If you don't know comics, don't worry about it. Let's see. Took all the blandness of Edward Cullen, took all just the vile and spitefulness of Sakura from the Naruto series, and proceeded to put it in a blender and throw in a skunk, hit puree, and boom, you got light. He literally has two modes. Whiny emo, and longingly whiny, oh, I'm smarter than you, blah, 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 look at my grand master plan. Except your master plan is about as elaborate as a 3-year-old playing chess. And on the other spectrum, we have L, the master detective, the Sherlock Holmes of his time. The man so smart, he actually is the world's top 3 detectives because he realized if you're the best, people are going to want to track you down. So pretend to be the other 2, and you can actually elude them. The man who's got fallback plans after fallback plans. The man who relies on knowledge and intrigue and literally uses every resource at his disposal to get what he wants. But he always keeps that cool demeanor. He'll never cross the line. Yeah, this L's nothing like that. Like, not at all. Even as a detective, this guy is horrible. He literally just, 1, got lucky. 2, assumed all these massive murders were linked somehow. Though, I'll get to that in a minute. Even though it's mentioned, you still don't have any solid evidence or anything that links them all together. Just murders. And goes from calm, cool, and collective to, okay, best way to describe this. Comparison of the anime and the movie. The Netflix one. In the anime, one of the detectives gets killed by the second Kira. I'm not going to touch what that is, but there's another person who has the same abilities. And instead of going over the top and rushing and getting angry, he knows if he leaves and goes to try to help the detective who's dying of a heart attack, he'll die too. But you can see the frustration in his face. You see him gripping his knees, just that stern look on his face, and there's a little hint of vibration between his hands. And this L basically does the exact opposite. The moment anything bad happened to Watari, his butler, he goes on a one-man, I would almost say murder crusade, because he literally packed out a freaking gun, which, yeah, L used guns in the original anime, but you're not going to get anything out of that. And basically becomes, where's Watari? Where's Watari? I'm gonna get you, Light. I know you, Kira. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not Batman. My parents are dead. Basically that. He didn't say the last part, but you know he would have. Oh god, this was so bad. Yes. No calm, no composure. No battle of wits between these guys. It's just... And Light openly states that he's Kira. To freaking L, the detective. With his only, penchant being, hey, you can't prove it. I know you can't prove it, so ha-dee ha-ha-ha. Well, guess what, buddy? In the end, you do give it away, you do prove it to him, and guess what? If this was your grand master plan, way to out yourself at the end. The original Light would always think 3 steps ahead, counter any counter that would come up with, and in fact let himself be outpaced so he can get the right move in the end. Even L would do the same thing. In the titular Japanese movie, it's a constant battle of wits to the point where one is willing to make the ultimate sacrifice to beat the other. And it's actually a really good and clever scene. In here, you have none of that. You have gore for the sake of gore, you have violence for the sake of violence, no morality, no justice, no actual grand thought and mythos into whether or not what you're doing is a good thing, and what line would you be willing to cross. They never remotely touch it. They, if you were to sprinkle some dust on it maybe, but nothing in this that you would notice. It's so bad. Thankfully, it's not in movies. I didn't have to pay a cent for that thing. And it was interesting just to listen to while I worked today, so it's not like I lost too much out of it. But yeah. Deathnote Netflix movie. Supposedly, they might make a second one. Don't. So in case you're wondering, don't see this movie on Netflix. Literally watch anything else. And before anyone in the comments section jumps on me for this. No, this is not the worst remake I've seen. This isn't the worst movie I've seen this year. It might etch its way onto the list, maybe, but I can think of 5 right now at the top of my head that I know for a fact were worse than this. And I'm gonna have to go digging through my archives before I find something that actually, you know, was worse. And it's not like, once again, the Deathnote anime was flawless. Literally up to, I believe it's episode 23, it's like really good and amazing. You got a constant battle between these two geniuses. And then you got the rest of the episodes, which are, not good. Mellow and near is all I'll say. Oh god, that was so bad. But yes, the Deathnote Netflix series. Don't watch it, guys. There's so much other better things to watch. Sorry once again for being a little late, but good news, I will be seeing it this weekend, and you can look forward to that one. Will it live up to my expectations upon it being nothing but jump scare trash, or will that 4-minute scene I saw before Annabelle actually make me think it's a good movie and, you know, aspire to be better than what it is? Well, only time will tell. Till then, I'm Kevin Riley signing off, seeing you all next time, and don't watch Deathnote Netflix. Watch the Deathnote anime, or the movies, not the Netflix one. I want to make that abundantly clear. Later, guys.